sing a song from the heart of God. Let me sing it. Yeah.
Real Talk, take 5. Hey folks, good to see y'all today. I had a blast last night. As you saw on my Facebook page, I went over and sat on a panel at New Home Baptist Church with Pastor Bobby Hicks and Makita, the singles leader over there. And the panel actually was entitled What Women Want to Know and What Men Will Tell Part 2. We talked about a lot of interesting things. I want to give you some of the tips, or not tips, but some of the questions that came up, and I'm not going to attempt to answer them here. I want to give a shout out to all the brothers, the pastors, the leaders, the men that were on that panel who did a phenomenal job answering those questions. So here are just some of the questions. One of them was, how do you tell if a Christian man wants to marry you? And of course, there are some progressive steps, and it's not just in what he says, but it's in what he does as well. So another one was, what can a black woman do to get a black man? Wow, is it that difficult? I think we're looking at professionally what happens when a lot of black men reach a certain plateau, what happens in a lot of relationships. So I think they were really reaching out, just trying to understand the black Christian man. Here's another one. Are men as prone, whoa, this is a deep one, are men as prone to masturbate as a female? Good response from that by the pastor of the church, dealing with what it really was, because it's so much, not so much a gender driven, but it's more flesh driven, if you will. Another question was, is dating in the church okay? And I took a moment to kind of deal with the difference between dating and courtship. In fact, on August the 8th at Jericho City of Praise, the Christian Training College, at 7 p.m. we'll begin a class, myself and Deacon Rayla Bird, on courtship versus dating, and deal with the intricacies of that. Another one was, when it comes to dating, am I too old-fashioned by letting a man pursue me? Look at the person next to you and say no. In fact, a lot of men, Christian men, are looking for women who are a little old-fashioned. We're not looking for too progressive women. Amen. And let me clarify that so you don't get the wrong idea. Yes, we want you progressive, but when it comes down to a relationship, we want to be the pursuers as a man. Here's another one. Why do men say that they want a strong woman, but then they don't want her too strong? One brother responded that it might be because she's overly outwardly expressive in her or with her strength, and that caught some laughs. Why is it that men don't want to date? And I think what they were alluding to, why is it that it appears that men don't want relationships, but they want sex? Wow, good question. And another one was, and I'm not going to give you them because there were 2 hours of questions. Another one was, how do you prepare for marriage? And I think that is an excellent question. We had questions about counseling as well. There's just a lot of good questions that came out. A lot of good answers came out. The brothers did, like I said, they did a phenomenal job. The audience had wonderful questions that they wanted to hear from. And I guess I'm looking forward to a part 3 to that. If we don't do it there, we'll definitely do it over at the City of Praise. So anyway, today, what I want to do is, I've already spoken a long time. What I want you guys to do is, I want you to hit me up with questions or suggestions that you may have, some tips that you have not heard. You may say that, wow, he's hit on a lot of different things, but he still hasn't come up my street. So there's some things that you still want to hear about, some scenarios that I haven't introduced yet. I want to cover those things. So please hit me up in my inbox here on Facebook, and I'll be sure, I can't say all of them, but I'll be sure to get some of them in. Anyway, have a delightful and blessed day.
I wanna sing